Joining me now on the other line, taking some time out of her busy schedule. She's a student. She's an athlete. She's a recently returned missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We got to mention that, of course. Sister Kailey Woolston, not Sister Woolston anymore. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep calling you Sister Woolston, though, so I apologize until you convince me to call you again the baller, shot caller, the three-point specialist of BYU women's basketball. Kailey Woolston, thanks for joining me. Really do appreciate it.
Yes, thanks for having me. I'll take Sister Woolston for now.
That is until your younger sister takes Sister Woolston away in, I think, in a couple of months. She's got her mission call or something.
End of September, she'll be heading out.
Yeah, so she'll be Sister Woolston soon enough. Until then, we'll keep it with Big Sister Kailey. Kailey, you're doing something pretty cool, I think, though, this weekend that I think a lot of readers, listeners, longtime followers of the program will kind of appreciate. You and a couple of your BYU teammates, Delaney, Gibb, Liv Hamlin, and then former BYU star WNBA legend Erin Thorn, you're hosting a basketball camp at your alma mater, Lone Peak High School, this Saturday. That's May 9th for those listening, 1 to 5 p.m. It's the 7-11 series basketball camp, I think is the official name of the title. Just give me a little bit of an elevator pitch, kind of a spiel. What can campers expect from this, and just what's kind of the reason, I guess, to sign them up for some really good instruction from at least 3, probably 4 big time ballers. I don't know if Coach Thorn still has it, but I'm assuming she still does, right?
Oh, she's still got it, and she still talks smack. Yeah, she's great. Yeah, Erin Thorn, being able to receive instruction from her is an amazing opportunity because she's coached a lot of players into the college game. And so being able to go at a young age and experience the way that she coaches, the principles that she teaches is a great opportunity. And then me and Delaney and Liv have really benefited from going to camps like these growing up. I remember going and seeing like Shaylee Gonzalez and Paisley and all these different players playing at BYU in different colleges. And being able to learn from them, and how that really motivated me to work on my own game and get to where I am now. And so we wanted to be able to have a way to give back to these young girls that are really trying to get to the college game. And so this is a great opportunity to learn from Delaney and Liv, who both came off of an amazing year, and their work ethic and the things that they've practiced. And then Erin Thorn, who has many, many years of playing pro and coaching under her belt.
The advantage of talking right now, right before, again, this Saturday, Lone Peak High School is where the camp's going to be this week, but you guys have already hosted one down in Liv's hometown in the St. George area. It's just, what was it? What did you guys kind of like about that camp that you're hoping to bring up here? And I don't know, maybe do you have a couple of extra tweaks or surprises that you're going to throw in that you can maybe tease out to anybody who might be heading up to Alpine this weekend?
You gotta wait and see the surprises. You gotta actually come. Can't reveal anything here, but the camp in St. George was so much fun. Just being able to meet all those girls, we were able to have a lot of competitions where me and Delaney and Liv participated and had a lot of interactions with those girls. And so being able to build those relationships that when they continue to come to camps in the future, we'll be able to continue to cultivate that. And there was a lot of skill work and instruction. And I think the biggest takeaway for me was that Erin Thorn leads her camps in a way that helps campers to practice these things on their own. Because if you just come to one camp for 4 hours and work on basketball, you're not going to get to where you want to be. But if you have these specific things that you can take away and work on your own, then you can get to reaching your goals. And so Erin runs her camps in a way that gives you those tools to be able to take to work on your own.
For sure, 100%. And I know you've worked with Coach Thorn. We'll call her quite a bit. She's worked with really all of you girls. She's been an enormous resource, I think, for the current generation of BYU basketball players that I've been able to follow you. Some of your teammates, some of the ones recently before you. She's been a really good, I think, resource for a lot of you ladies. I did want to catch you on here because it's been a minute since we fully caught up. You've been doing, I'll say, more important things for most of the last 18 months. I think you're just far enough removed from serving a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Baltimore, where we can actually speak in I'll say complete sentences, real sentences, and not immediately drift into discussion sentences. We all know how that goes. But give me a little bit of a rundown over kind of those 18 months, because I think a lot of people were sort of surprised when you decided to serve a mission. And you were pretty upfront about it was something that you wanted to do. You felt drawn to do it. Was that time in Baltimore, was it everything that you hoped it would be? And what kind of a different person do you feel like you've come back after spending 18 months on the East Coast?
It's so hard to put it into words, but it was an absolutely incredible 18 months that has shaped the rest of my life. And I think when I first got out, I kind of treated the mission sort of like my basketball career, in a way that, like, if I put in enough work, I'll get results. I'll make shots. I'll be able to win games. But that's not how it works as a missionary. You have to completely trust in the Lord, and no matter how well you know the scriptures, no matter how well you know preach my gospel and how much effort you put into the work, that doesn't mean that people are going to make the changes necessary to come unto Christ. And so I think the biggest change that I experienced on the mission is realizing how unprofitable I am. I'll talk about in 2 Nephi how no matter how much we do, we will always be unprofitable servants, but that the Lord still uses us and he still wants us to be his hands in this work. And so I can have confidence that despite my imperfections, I still can be useful to the Lord, and I can still become who he wants me to become if I lay everything fully on the table for him.
I really like that. And some great lessons coming from missionary service. Some great lessons, I think that can kind of applies to basketball in a lot of ways. Sometimes you do everything that you possibly can, and the final shot doesn't fall, right? And you got to learn how to pick yourself back up and how to move on. Do you feel like you kind of learned sort of, I know you obviously weren't playing basketball every day for 18 months, maybe a P day every now and then, right? We won't say too much. But do you feel like you learned a little bit that some kind of overall life lessons that maybe made you better when it comes to the basketball court and that sort of thing, just in terms of like competitiveness and drive and work ethic and that kind of thing that maybe BYU fans can expect to see later this year?
Yeah, I think a lot of the skills that you develop as a missionary, like studying the gospel, just getting up every day and doing it again no matter what, not sleeping in, and just you get up at the crack of dawn and you get to work right away. And you just rely on those extra energy tanks of those extra, however, I don't know how we got it sometimes, but the same thing applies to basketball, that you just have to put in the work every single day. You won't see the results every single day. Sometimes you'll feel like you have zero progress for weeks on end, but if you continue to show up every single day, then you will see progress in the end. And that applies both in the spiritual realm and the physical realm.
Yeah, I love that. Well, transitioning a little bit back, what did you think when you got home to a little bit of a new BYU basketball program? Obviously, you knew Coach Cummard. He was an assistant when you left. Now stepping into kind of that head coaching role. What did you think of this team and what they were able to accomplish this season as you sort of came back into the middle of it and maybe got to watch some pretty high-level college hoops from a different perspective, from the sideline, as you were taking notes and sort of putting on your Coach Woolston hat?
I think it was an incredible opportunity to, like you were saying, watch from the outside this run that they made. And it was awesome to see just the connectivity that everyone had and how much love that they had for each other. And I think that is what helped them play all the way into April, when a lot of teams kind of run out of steam a little bit early. But they were able to keep that momentum all the way to the end, making that huge run in the WBIT. And I think that run will be super helpful for us going forward, understanding how a tournament run feels. And since the majority of us are returning, that'll be huge for us going forward this year and coming years.
Yeah, well, and I think that's a really good point, because it does feel like a lot of sort of the connectivity of the team sort of bled through into the offseason, where correct me if I'm wrong here, but it seems like you guys wanted to come back, wanted to kind of stay together, keep the core of this team together. Obviously, transfers are a thing in today's Division I basketball, and you don't blame anybody for leaving ever. But was there kind of something special that sort of kept this group together about like, hey, let's try to build on sort of these moments that we built, especially as you're ready to jump back into the fold and you're bringing in a couple of pretty high-powered freshmen that should be pretty good contributors right away. I guess the long end of that question is just how bright is the future of BYU women's basketball with what you guys have coming back and what you were able to kind of build on through last year, maybe even a little bit before that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the transfer portal always being an option and the fact that all of our core people stayed is just a huge signal to what we have going, that everybody wants to be a part of it, that everybody wants to spend time with each other outside of the court. Because if things aren't going right, even if they're going right on the court, if they aren't right off the court, everybody's out. And so it's a huge sign that we do love each other and we want to be here. And I think everybody has such a strong work ethic in this group that it will push us to take the necessary step to elevate our game to the next level.
Yeah, and you guys want to be together so much that you're traveling around the country, even internationally. You've got one coming up in Canada, a couple of teammates for the 7-11 series basketball camp. Next one's this Saturday, Lone Peak High School. If you miss that opportunity, you're gonna have to travel a little bit, but you can always go to take a summer trip to Alberta. There will be one there in a couple of weeks. But if you want to save that drive time, once again, Kailey, what's the best way for anybody who maybe hasn't signed up yet if they want to get some last minute signups in to register for this camp?
Yeah, you just go to my Instagram bio and there's a link in the bio there. And if it's hard to find, you can just direct message me and I'll send it to you. But yes, there's a link in my bio.
So that's Kailey. Find Kailey Woolston on Instagram. That's Kailey_Woolston, just like the name. She's changed it a couple of times since high school. It used to have like basketball or something in there or something like that.
So my dad was in charge of it.
so the truth comes out now. The truth comes out. Yeah. So check out Kailey_Woolston on Instagram. She'll give you all of the details right there. Sign up for the 7-11 series basketball camp. Again, this Saturday, May 9th at Lone Peak High School. You can get great instruction from Erin Thorn, Kailey Woolston, Delaney Gibb, and Olivia Hamlin. They'll all be there. Really a pretty unique opportunity, I think, for the summer. Kailey, thanks so much for joining me. Really do appreciate it. And good luck this weekend coaching some young campers. Maybe you can find a couple of future Cougars while you're at it.
Yes, thank you. I'm excited.